Hi there, and in today's video we're going to have a quick look at how you enter a new trade. So how you put a trade entry into the trade diary, what some of the different areas you need to complete are and why. So yeah, here we go. So we're at our dashboard, so we've logged in, come to our dashboard. We want to go straight to our trade diary. There are two ways of inputting a trade. You can either click on the date, the relevant date. You can see here as we scroll down. There's some trades that were put in previously. So the blue ones are entries and the red ones are when they're closed. So that's the difference. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to click on a date, and here it is. Okay, first things first. So we're looking at a trade that we're going to enter, and you can see at the top here we've got this lovely little area which allows us to put our chart in here. Now, the way that I personally prefer to do this, although you can do it using a screen grab, or if your trading platform allows you to photograph or export charts, that's great. For me, I do a lot of my setup on Trading View. So if we have a quick look at charts here, I will try and find one that's got a relatively recent trade on it. What were we trading earlier today? Here we go. This looks like it's gone badly, so that's great. So here we are. Let's just get under a 15-minute chart, which would have been the entry chart for this one. So you can see here, here we were. There was an entry here, short entry, which that doesn't look to have gone brilliantly well. But nevertheless, that was a trade entry. So this would have been the chart when I placed that trade. What you can do with the trading view is just go down to the little camera, save image, and then it'll bring up basically a screenshot of your chart at some point. At least it should do. It's not playing ball today. Okay, instead, we'll go back and we will print screen using the old control print screen. And then we can go back into our Traders Journal, click and Control V to paste it in, and there you've got your chart. Now what this means, even though you can't see much on it at the moment, that's not really the point. The point is that it will be there, and when you come to review your trades, you will be able to see exactly what the market looks like at setup, so that if you do find that the market is performing differently to your strategy, to your expectations, then you can actually go back and start to see some of the patterns in these charts, to see some of the things that maybe were different to the patterns that you noticed when you were doing your backtesting. So that really is its purpose. So there it is. Equally, there's a notes section. You don't have to use that. Psychologically, it can help in terms of why you entered a trade or didn't enter a trade, or any particular feelings or news or information that you had about that particular trade. So there's a note section here, so you can just write whatever is going through your head in there. And again, this is for reviewing your trade. So when you come to review a trade, this is what it's all about. So select strategy. So you need to tell Traders Journal which strategy this trade was placed according to. So what are the results, the backtesting results that you want to compare the performance of this trade to, and it then will select the type of strategy it is. It'll default an instrument based on what you tested. You then need to select your product. There is a drop down. Sometimes it's just as easy to Euro JPY. Just as easy to type it. It'll automatically select a start date because we clicked on the diary where we wanted it to, and the open time we will want to tell it that it was whatever time it was. 45. There we go. So that's when we. So what did we do? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Just minimize that quickly. Pull that out over here. So we can have a little bit of a look at what we did exactly. So we're assuming that it's this trade here. So we've got an entry level at the bottom here, got a stop loss at the top here, and then if we scroll down, looks like it's stopped out. So that's been a profitable exercise. And then we've got a take profit at the bottom here. So it was a sell trade. So we just click here. It was a sell trade. Entry price. So the great thing about marking it up this way on TradingView, even though I don't trade directly through this, it gives me all the numbers I need. Visually, it's nice and easy, but I can pull the numbers straight off here. Entry price is here, little grey box, 118810. You'll notice, oh, I don't need the O. You'll notice that I don't actually use the decimal point in TradersView. In Traders Journal, there's no reason to use it. It'll just give you numbers that don't make so much sense. And equally, I always miss off the final number because, again, you're dealing with decimal points really there, and that is the point at which it gets a bit complicated and unnecessary. So stop loss. It's asking us the stop loss, but in points. So not in terms of what the stop loss is in terms of level, 119016. It's asking it in points. Now here, a point, ignore the last number, a point will be 0.01, 0.02, 0.0. So what I'm looking at is the difference between these two. So that's 11881, 11901. So the difference is 20. Simple. 20 points. There is a little tool on here. If you wanted to do it the old-fashioned way, you can click on the measure, and you can go, what's the difference between there and here? And then you'll notice that up here, 0.20, 0.25. But again, we're missing out that last decimal, so it's 0.20. So it's 20 points. So if you wanted to do it that way, absolutely fine. And with the take profit we've got here, take profit points, I probably will do it that way because it's a bigger number and I want to make sure that I've got it right. So we just drag it down. You'll see here 0.547. We ignore the 7. We put in 0.54, so 54 points. Okay, so we've done that. Just make that bigger so that we can see what we're doing. Moving on, we have a look at the other bits and pieces that we need to put in that are related to our account existing and how we're trading this particular strategy. For this, we've used 1% of account, so 1%. Account balance. The account balance at open was actually about 8,550. Now, the next thing that this tells us, which is why this is useful to do it when I've set it up in TradingView, to input it all in here, what it does is it tells me how many lots to trade. So how many lots I need to place on the trade based on my desired risk, my current account balance, and my stop loss points. Now, I find this incredibly useful because otherwise I have a habit of just putting on an amount which is more or less correct. And that just doesn't give you the returns that you expect, and it certainly doesn't give returns that are in line with your back testing. So it is important that you put all this in, you look at the lots to trade, and you use them when actually placing your live trade. Coming down, you've got the risk in pounds. So based on all of the above and trading that lot size, you're risking £85.5, £85.50, and your potential profit is £231.12. And then at the bottom, let's just scroll down. At the bottom, risk reward, you've got there the risk reward is 3 to 1, so 3 times the reward to 1 times risk. So I think what I'm going to do is call that a day, and then we'll have a look at another video that has a look at what we do when we close a trade at the bottom here.